Hey coin collectors, Dan the Collecting Man here. Today I'm going to talk about the cool releases from the Royal Australia Mint. So there's two key releases that I'm going to go through my thoughts and the different types that you can get and some that are kind of missing that may be coming out soon. So we'll have a talk about those. So we'll start with the Lunar Horse. I think that's one of the more popular years. So obviously you got the Dragon and the Tiger, which are definitely the 1 and 2. But I think the horse is a pretty close third. It's definitely a very popular one. There's a lot of horse lovers out there as well on top of that. And I think it's definitely a very cool, fun thing to get into, especially if you're into the Lunar series. Now, from my personal perspective, it's more something you collect because you enjoy. I haven't seen these kind of things retain much collector's value, but nevertheless, they are still pretty cool. So let's talk about the 50-cent carded version first, because that one's got quite a unique design on there, and I just wanted to talk about it compared to these ones. So obviously these are the two that I do have. I've got the Year of the Snake and the Year of the Dragon. So the carded version is in 50,000 mintage at retail of $17.50. So 50,000, you should be able to obtain one of those from a lot of the key dealers that you can find out there. Now, some of the key things to look out for is the design itself. For me, the horse and all that looks pretty cool, but it does look like the horse has been placed on top of a scene. It doesn't look like it's within the scene, if you can understand what I'm trying to say there. But also it's got the random waterfall in the left-hand side there. But if you look at the top of that waterfall, there's all these kind of things coming out of it. I'm not sure if it's meant to be bricks or I don't know if it's something a bit more. I just don't understand what that is there. So that kind of just looks a little bit random and out of place, the way the waterfall just comes out of these weird little objects and shapes. So chuck in the comments below if you actually understand what they're trying to capture and cover off there. Apart from that, the design of the horse is very clear. You can kind of see everything else there. So I think it's something unique. I personally won't be getting it because I'm not something that I want to get the horse and the snake. I did like the design of, but it's not something I'm going to be looking at getting for this year. There's also the $1 version. So it's a different design on the $1 coin. And there's two coins there. And it's very much similar to the Bullion version. So the silver and gold version. So I have got the silver version coming. And hopefully I'll get it delivered very soon. So this is the Year of the Dragon, which is obviously the most collectible one that people can get. So what you'll see on the left is the Year of the Horse image there. That's the one that I talked about with the video before, where the flowers there that kind of pop out a little bit too much. They kind of take away from the actual design personally, is my personal thing. And then you've got the calendar on the right hand side. So it's very similar. So if I show you the Year of the Dragon here, this is the Bullion edition. Here you've got the actual dragon itself, as you can see, is very similar here. But on this coin, if you actually flip over on this one, they've actually got the calendar there. So here they've got the calendar there, and obviously you've got Queen Elizabeth on these ones. These are the memorial years of reign. But they've got it slightly different on this one here with the Chinese character that's there in the middle. So that's what they've done with the $1 ones. So these are minted to 30,000 of these. Now I've heard some feedback about these not being in straight, or there's been colouring issues with actual coins. A lot of coins are toning as well, so I'm not even sure. I think these ones are slightly toning. So there's been some not so positive feedback on these ones from a collector's point of view. But still cool to have something. If you're into the $1 coins and you're into the Lunar series, it's something that you can look into. So as you can see, I definitely get all the silver ones. That's the one that I will collect, because silver does go up in value. So at least you're always going to grow in value. Silver is now over $62. So you can see, and when I bought these ones, they were around $30 in silver value. So it's doubled in just a couple of years of buying these ones. So at least you will obtain that, and they're, for me, a little bit more collectible. But then there's also, normally in a version like this, you have your domed one. So as you can see here, I've got the dragon, because the dragon is by far a very, very collectible year. So this is something that we haven't seen yet. I'm not sure if we're going to see it or not. There's been no, given the fact they've released everything else, but they haven't released the domed edition. So as you can see here, it's a domed coin, which is something very unique and pretty cool. Has a lowest mintage of 7,500, so it's still quite accessible. but I've noticed in the last couple of years they were available for a long time. They didn't really sell out very quickly. So obviously the dragon probably being the most collectible, but it's something that you do pay a high premium for just to have a domed coin, and not as many people seem to be into it. So that's something we haven't seen yet. I'm not sure if that's going to be coming out or not. It'd be very interesting to see if we're going to see the proof edition one, but it's still, nonetheless, it's cool and something a bit different and a bit unique to have a domed coin. And then we go into the Christmas 50-cent coin. So quite early coming out. We're only just in the start of September, but they've already releasing the 50-cent Christmas ones. Now, to be honest, this design I actually really do like. I think it's pretty cool. So we've got some of the past ones here, and it's something that's quite a bit of fun, especially as a coin collector, to have some coins on your actual Christmas tree. I think it's pretty cool. I like the way they've actually got these kind of little carded ones. Obviously, some of these ones you can rip off the bottom part, but I've kept these ones on. But I like this one this year as well, because of the way it's very clear that it's 2025 at the top, and I really like the flower design. So obviously this year we've got the Queensland Christmas Orchid, so it's a really beautiful flower, and it's a little bit different to these ones where it's kind of a similar pattern going all around. This one's nice and colourful, and it's got the flower kind of nicely centered down there with all the different other images around. I think it's, for me, going to be my favorite one of the bunch. So 70,000 of those are made. They come in different colors, a bit like these ones. You can get different color packaging. The coin itself is the same, but they do different color packaging, and $17.50 I think is a good reasonable price, and I think it's pretty cool, and I do like it, and I probably will get one when I go to a coin shop in the near future before Christmas, and I'll try and get myself one. There's also the proof edition one, so that's a silver proof coin at $150, minted to only 10,000, so a lowish mintage, but again, that design really pops, and the packaging on this one, if I can show you here, is really nice. So they've actually done a really good job on the outer slipper packaging, so it actually pops out pretty nicely, and they've also got the ribbon on there so you can hang it on your Christmas tree. So overall, I think that's a pretty nice one to get at $150. I think I'm not sure how quick they sell out, but it's something that's pretty cool. I personally won't be getting that one. It's not something that I'm personally going to be getting, but I think I'll definitely get the 50-cent coin one for my collection going forward, because I do like this year's edition. So I'd love to know what you think. Also, one thing I forgot to mention is around the 50-cent coin PNCs. So this is something that I've kind of been collecting as well. So I've got the Year of the Tiger, which is the second most popular. The Year of the Dragon. I probably will get the Year of the Horse being the third most popular, depending on the design. Like this one here had a really cool design. I really like the actual PNC. So often these do get released a bit closer to the lunar year, so something a little bit closer. So we expect to probably see this earlier next year, but maybe in around February, when we have the actual lunar year of the horse. So it'll be interesting to see when, but keep an eye out from the Australia Post to see when they're going to release their lunar PNC editions. So hopefully you found this a little bit informative. I'd love to know if you're going to get any of the coins and which ones you have. I will be doing a more detailed review on the actual Lunar Horse Silver Edition one once I get that in the next week. So look out for that video. So make sure you do subscribe to stay up to date and see those cool videos. And as always, thanks so much for watching and joining the coin collecting community. I'll catch you in my next video. Dan.